Mamata Banerjee meets the governor amid doctors' protests. Mamata Banerjee appeals to doctors, says the demands have been met. Case now with the CBI. End your protests. 9 have been arrested for overnight hooliganism at the hospital. This as resident doctors and policemen were injured in the overnight violence. The top doctors' body, the Indian Medical Association, calls an emergency meeting. The doctors' body to huddle over the Kolkata mob violence. This is resident doctors across India to resume their protests. India marks its 78th Independence Day. The Prime Minister's uniform civil code and one nation, one poll pitch. The Prime Minister says India needs a secular civil code. PM Modi speaks on women's safety in his Independence Day address. He says there should be strict punishment and swift probe in cases of violence against women. But this, as the Prime Minister puts the onus of women's safety on states. He says states must be serious about women's safety. Ajit Pawar hints at quitting electoral politics. He says, I have no desire to contest elections. Will Ajit Pawar hang up his boots ahead of the Maharashtra polls and hand over the baton to his son? Our lead story, well, Mamata Banerjee met the governor of West Bengal after a night of protests, hooliganism and vandalism by a mob that turned violent and attacked various policemen and protesting doctors as well. In fact, these are visuals of the emergency ward which was completely destroyed in the mob violence. And now Mamata Banerjee has appealed to doctors who continue to protest undeterred, saying that the demands have been met. The probe has been handed over to the CBI, which was among the principal demands of the protesting doctors. So the doctors must end their strike. This is what Mamata Banerjee has said. She also says that there should be limits and rules as far as protests are concerned. This after she met the governor over what has been a night of absolute horror in Kolkata. Listen to what Mamata Banerjee had to say.
আর বাদ বাকি যারা ধর্মঘটে এখনো আছেন সবটাই তো মেনে নেওয়া হয়েছে, অত কিছু বাকি নেই। আর এখন তো আমাদের হাতেও কেসটা নেই, কেসটা তো সিবিআই এর হাতে। আপনাদের কিছু বলার থাকলে আপনারা সিবিআই কে গিয়ে বলুন, আমার কোনো আপত্তি নেই, কোর্টকে গিয়ে বলুন। ম্যাটারটা তো এখন সাব জুডিস হয়ে গেছে। কাজে আমাদের তো এক্ষেত্রে সাহায্য করা ছাড়া আর তো কিছু নেই। কিন্তু দুটো ফ্লোর পুরো ভেঙে দেওয়া হয়েছে, মেডিসিনগুলো লোপাট করা হয়েছে এবং যত ইনফ্রাস্ট্রাকচার, ইকুইপমেন্টস, ইনজেকশন থেকে শুরু করে যা যা লাগে টোটালটাই ধ্বংস করা হয়েছে।
All right, so Mamata Banerjee there appealing to protesting doctors. She made several important points there. In fact, she also said that they were outsiders who actually vandalized the hospital. They were not part of the hospital or part of any political party, given the fact that there is this political blame game over the night of hooliganism and the vandalism that took place at the hospital. Joining me this evening, Majid Memon, working committee member of the TMC, also a senior advocate at the Supreme Court, a former Rajya Sabha MP as well. Dr. Shatruppa of the BJP is also with us. Going across to you first, Dr. Shatruppa, your response to what Mamata Banerjee has said. She says the probe has been handed over to the CBI, which is why the protesting doctors must now end their strike.
Vedant, all I can say is the Chief Minister is now high time that she should resign. She has completely forgotten the days of her agitating West Bengal. Before she became the Chief Minister, she was on strike for some 49 days and then she stopped the highway. So now she is so insensitive to the needs of the doctors. Yes, it has been handed over, the case has been handed over to CBI, but that has got nothing to do with her. Her lawyers in the High Court tried every single, trick in the hat to try and stop the High Court from giving the order, but the High Court gave the order that it should be a High Court monitored inquiry by the CBI. Now, what she said just now outside the governor's house, outside Raj Bhavan, again, she's back to being insensitive. She said she is justifying the attack on Arjikor and saying that police was just trying to keep peace. Well, what peacekeeping was police trying to do? For 40 minutes, people ravaged Arjikor, possibly in an attempt to, destroy whatever forensic evidence that could be found on the scene of the crime, which was, by the way, not secured by the police even before CBI came in, which is just a very, very elementary thing that
Yes.
the police should have done. Those 40 minutes while RG Kaur was being ravaged, police was hiding in the toilets, in the wards of the nurses' toilets, the wards, inside patients' blankets. If this is the kind of police force that the Honorable Chief Minister, who is also the police minister, she's running the show, then she should resign. And if
Okay,
as the
let
health
me get in
minister,
Majid
if
Mehmet to
this is the
respond to
case,
that. Mr. Mehmet, these are valid questions. The state police has failed on multiple levels, starting with the fact that Mamata Banerjee and the Mamata Banerjee administration could not assure or could not make sure that a fair and thorough investigation takes place into this incident, which is why the CBI had to take over. Secondly, what happened yesterday night was absolutely unfortunate. This has defeated the purpose of those doctors who've been on the streets undeterred, relentlessly fighting for their rights. So, it would be safe to say that the state administration has failed not just in providing security to those doctors, but also in conducting a fair and thorough investigation.
Now, let me have a couple of minutes to explain all these questions that you have raised. Number one, that this is a heinous crime. Undoubtedly, it's a tragedy where nobody would obstruct the course of justice. The chief minister is not on the side of culprits. That's as it's being tried to make out. Then the West Bengal government is trying to protect the culprit or is dilly-dallying in investigation. This is far from truth, number one. Let me also tell you that this is not the first time in the history of Indian investigation that the local police had to hand over the investigation to the CBI under the orders of the court. This has happened hundreds of times in hundreds of states, including the states ruled by BJP. So now BJP is trying to just victimize the chief minister for
No, but sir,
political
would you agree
reasons.
that this is a breakdown of law and
then
order?
also, yeah, please, just give me 1 minute, 1 minute. Now, instigating the doctor's body to agitate, is this that have not such offenses taken place in the past in other states? Please tell me. Much
no, but sir, this is
graver
whataboutery.
offenses
Let's not get
have
into
taken
whataboutery.
place.
Let's stick to this particular case.
1 minute, please permit me, give me 1 minute more. Now, please permit me to explain.
I'm giving you all the time, sir, but let's not get into whataboutery. This is a heinous crime. Let's stick to this particular case and not what happened in other states. Go ahead, sir.
Now, see, these offenses are required to be investigated by honest, qualified, expert investigators. Now, some officers from CBI, I would have great hope that they would go to the bottom of the incident and get out the persons who are responsible for this crime. They will be put before the court. Now, if local police were unable to satisfactorily, satisfy the central rule that, well, the offense is not being properly investigated, it is handed over to CBI by an order of the court. This has not happened for the first time, as I said. Hundreds of cases, such things have happened. Now, number two, heroing the chief minister's residence, making allegations against Mamata Banerjee are all nothing but political gimmick. You see, this is a serious criminal offense, which certainly Mamata Didi, our party, is also anxious to ensure that it must entail into pure justice.
Okay.
The victim and victim survivors must get justice. There is no two opinion on that at all. Then why this halla gulla?
Okay.
What is why you are instigating breach of law and order.
Dr. Shatrupa, your quick response to that. Your quick response to that, because many have said that the BJP. Listen to my question, ma'am. Many are saying that the BJP is playing vulture politics. Why politicize this at all? This is such a heinous crime. The state and the centre should work in close tandem, in close coordination to assure that justice is given to the family.
I resent the fact that even you would say that we are, making profit, as the other gentleman is saying, or we are doing vulture politics. We are just stating very few clear, elementary facts. One, if there was good intention on the part of the state government, why did the head of RG Kaur, Shondeep Ghosh, make a statement like, what was she doing there? Why was she there on night duty? He's supposed to be responsible for the doctor. He knows very well why this girl was on night duty. One, the police have not secured the scene of the crime. Number three, the police have made no attempt to detain or even question all those people who were on duty in any capacity, whether they were doctors or attendants or grade 4 staff, during those 3-4 hours when the crime is supposed to be happened. Why we are saying this? Because even after removal of Sandeep Ghosh in the morning from RG Court, he was promptly put into
Yes.
another college.
So
which
those
is
are
a
fair
fact
questions.
that
Those are
even
fair
the High
questions.
Court said.
Majid Memon, your
Even
quick
High
response to
Court
that.
said
I'm
this.
running out of time on the
BJP
debate.
did.
Majid Memon, a quick
I must
response.
tell
Yeah.
my friend that once an FIR is registered, once a crime of murder has come on record, the arrested person is required to be produced before the learned court, and there is a
Yeah,
judicial
but who is
supervision to
arresting? That
investigation, to
man is
every
probably not
aspect of
even
Dr.
guilty.
investigation.
Shatrupal, let
The
him have his
point
BNS
would
word.
happens at
question
nothing
whether
much.
it's a local police or CBI or anybody else, if this is done or this is not done. I and you cannot
No,
question. We
no,
are not the
no.
Okay.
experts as far as the
Okay, I'm afraid I'll have
investigation
to
of
No,
leave
no,
this
it
no,
there
crime is
no.
concerned.
because ultimately now the investigation is with the CBI. Larger questions on an alleged cover-up, of course, remain, and those will have to be answered by the state administration. Mamata Banerjee, of course, chose to appeal to the doctors today, asking them to end their strikes. But thanks very much, Dr. Shatrupal and Majid Memon, for being with us this evening. Let me now go across to Saurabh Gupta, who was in fact there last night, tracking the developments very closely. In fact, he saw before his eyes what really transpired in RG Kar yesterday. So, Saurabh, over to you. Break it down for us, what really happened, what you saw last night, and of course, Mamata Banerjee's appeal now to protesting doctors.
Well, one of the things that the doctors said was that, yesterday's protest, which was basically outsiders, and something that the Chief Minister concurs on, that these were outsiders who came in with a political motive, is what the Chief Minister said. She blamed the BJP and the left for, this incident of attack at the RG Kar Medical College and Hospital, naming them as Bam and Ram. And that's something that is often used in West Bengal to club the left and the right together. Now, obviously, these were not people from that place, and they had come in from outside with a motive to ransack and whatever. But I must say, I heard on the show, someone say that the crime scene is not secure. I went, we were there at the emergency ward today, and we tried going up to the upper floors, and we were stopped. There are police still at the gates. You're not being allowed to go up. And the destruction also is still the lower floors, not on the floor where the crime scene is, where the seminar room is. So, for the record, and the Kolkata police have also clarified this in a tweet, the scene of the crime, the place of occurrence, or PO as it's called, is intact. It has not, it's sealed, and it hasn't been tampered with even after this attack. But what are the students saying? The students are saying that, look, this proves our point, that there is no security, and why should we come back to work? If people can walk in, miscreants can come in, attack us and go away, then there's no security. What is the Chief Minister saying? The Chief Minister is saying, look, the case is with the CBI. Whatever questions you'll have on the investigation, you'll have to ask the CBI. I have already said that I want capital punishment for him. I was going to complete the probe in 7 days, and, and all of that. So the Chief Minister also now appealing to the doctors to come back to work, but the doctors say that they're going to continue their protest. Obviously, they have their reasons as well.
Yes.
And this means that the showdown between the doctors and, and
the administration,
others are going to go on, which also means that now RG Kar Hospital, which was one of the main nodal hospitals for a lot of districts around, does not have an emergency department because of this incident. And that means patients are going to suffer. Yesterday, policemen suffered injuries. I have seen policemen yesterday who were protecting that place with all they had.
All right. Saurabh, thanks very much for joining us with the latest there. As Saurabh is reporting that showdown continues. Doctors have their own reasons to protest and not trust the state administration. But